I'm really excited to be able to share this thought with you. I learned it with my bubby this weekend. And so I want to look at the general structure of the bracha that we have that introduces most of the brachot that we say. So it starts with Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu. And so if you look at the grammar, it's quite interesting because we begin the bracha by saying Baruch atah, and we address God directly. And then if you look later on in the bracha, we switch to third person and we say kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu. And if we wanted to stay in this addressing God directly, second person, we would say kiddushtanu b'mitzvotacha v'tzivitanu. But instead we switch to the third person. And I guess one question that my bubby and I asked ourselves is why do we switch from second person to third person in one single sentence? Like, that doesn't make so much sense grammatically. And so I think because as soon as we address God directly and we say Baruch atah, we become aware, like we realize that God is transcendent and he's not our neighbor. And the relationship turns from one of closeness to one of more reverence. And God is Le'ela U'Le'ela, and that these blessings are beyond him. So we're not able to fully address him directly because he is transcendent. And then similarly, the bracha also has, we say Elokeinu and Melech HaOlam. And so these are two seemingly opposing thoughts, right? Hashem is as Elokeinu, he's our God on the one hand, and then on the other hand, he's Melech HaOlam, he's the God of the whole world. And so in the bracha, we can see that, if you look at the structure, you see that it starts in second person, and we say atah and Elokeinu, and those two things are, a more direct relationship with God. And then as soon as we say Melech HaOlam and we acknowledge and we realize God's transcendence, we transition to the third person, and we finish the bracha in the third person. And so I think we can see from the basic structure of this single bracha that we begin many of our brachot with, that the Rebbeim who wrote who created this bracha that we use, that they were able to reconcile and allow for all of these different seemingly contradictory notions to exist in one thought, and we say all of them in one singular bracha. And on the one hand, God is transcendent and distant, and yet on the other hand, and at the same time, God is also close to us. And we say in Tehillim Kuf Mem Hey, Karov Hashem l'chol kare'av l'chol asher yikrehu be'emet. Anyone who calls out to Hashem is close to him. And I think that this is just really interesting to notice, because this is a bracha that we say many times a day, every single day, and we don't always realize when we're saying it that there is such complex and seemingly opposing thoughts that just go into this single bracha that we say on a daily basis. So I just thought that was really interesting, and I wanted to share it.